Hi, everyone. A very good day from ABC Ahead Business Consult to you, wherever you are watching us from. ABC Ahead Business Consult is a business consulting firm, and we are into business idea development, business plan development. We offer business growth strategies, financial management advisory services, marketing strategy development, regulatory compliance advisory services, and we are also into entrepreneurship training. Today, we'll be talking about how to raise funds for businesses. I am Prinsila Kwete, and I am glad that you are on board. But before we zoom into the main topic for the day, let us watch a video quickly, and then when we come back, we will zoom into the business for the day.
Starting a business is a thrilling venture, but it can also be overwhelming. As a business starter, you are the visionary, the leader, the problem solver. But sometimes it can feel devastating. At ABC Ahead Business Consult, we help you achieve a world where your business survives. From business development to project management, our business consulting services will help you clarify your vision and strategy, build a strong foundation for growth, and manage projects efficiently. Our experts in human resources will help you attract and develop top talent. We believe in empowering starters to achieve their full potential. Let us be your partner in success. Schedule a consultation today and move your business ahead. Call us on 0541 227 400. Follow us on all our social media handles at ABC Ahead Business Consult. Ahead Business Consult. Always ahead.
Yes, and we are back again. I am Prinsila Kwete, and from the beginning, as I said today, we'll be talking about how to raise funds for businesses. Right, so let us start with this quote that says that the best way to get the money is to go out and get it. And so you need money for your business's growth. You have to ensure that you position yourself and your business in a strategic way, in that when you go out to secure the funding that you need, you'll be able to get it to grow your business. The reason being that access to capital, or having access to capital, is one key differentiator between your business growing or your business remaining stagnant. We'll provide you with a step-by-step guide from you being able to understand the very core fundamental requirements to you being able to craft winning funding proposals. All of these will be done today on the topic how to raise funds for businesses. So our facilitator for today is in the person of Mr. Blessed Tete Ojao, and he's a seasoned business consultant and also an experienced business executive. In terms of his business or career, he is currently the lead consultant at ABC Ahead Business Consult, where he provides business advisory services to startups and organizations. Additionally, he serves as the lead consultant and the CEO at Able Digital Marketing Solutions. He's also the Chief Executive Officer of Lucrative Farms Enterprise, the General Manager at Mero Electrical Engineering, and currently the Board Chairman for BD Smart Properties Agency Limited. In terms of his education, he has an executive certificate in business administration from the Accra Business School and a Bachelor of Business Administration, specifically banking and finance, from KNUST. He also has over 30 certificates in leadership, in entrepreneurship, in business management, finance, and in digital marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you once again to our facilitator for the day, Mr. Blessed Tete Ojao. While we pave way for him to join or for him to start his presentation, let us be guided by this statement that says that you don't need money to start a business. Do you think you need money or you don't need money? Let this statement guide you, even as we hear from a wonderful facilitator. And so, Mr. Bless, we are ready for you.
Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for making yourself available for this session. As said earlier on, we are going to look at business fundraising strategies. This is what we are going to look at in this session. We are going to look at the needs for funding. We are going to look at market validation and traction. We are also going to look at how you are going to craft a winning business proposal as a requirement for seeking funds. We're going to look at how you also craft your pitch that help you sell your business to whoever that is willing to invest in your business. We're also going to look at how to identify various sources of funding. We're going to look at the types of funding. We're going to look at the requirements, how to apply some proven strategies. We're going to look at some organizations that you may want to consider when you are seeking for funding. All right. So as we begin, we want to lay the foundation for funding, and we are going to look at the need for funding. A simple question is, do you need funds for your business? I believe all of us will respond yes, but it goes beyond just a yes or no answer. It is a whole lot of analysis to truly arrive at that decision. As part of your decision to identify whether you need funds or not, there are a few things that you may want to consider. The first one is articulating the purpose of the fund. And we ask a simple question: clearly explain why you need funding. So if I ask you, do you need funding? You said yes. You need to clearly explain why you need the funding. You come before an investor, someone who is willing to invest into your business. You should be able to explain why you need the funding. Explaining why, you should be also able to identify how funds will be used. That is, you need to specify your allocation. So yes, you need the funding. You are able to explain why you need the funding. But in what specific areas do you apply the funding? So let's assume that you are into farming. You said, okay, I need money to start crop farming. So you are able to explain. Now, you need, let's say, 100,000. How are you going to segregate, or how are you going to allocate that amount of money? So I'll use this amount to do this, this, and this, and this. So you should be able to specify your allocation. And then you should also know the exact amount that you need. It's not like I need money, any money at all that is given to me, I'm going to work with it. You should be able to specify the exact amount that you need. Understanding why you need the funding, what and what specifically you need it for, and then the exact amount that you need. And then the last thing that you may consider is to have a timeline for the funding. As a matter of fact, you should have a specific timeline that within this time, I need the funding. And if you are not able to get the funding within that time, and then you can still work with the funds beyond the schedule, you should be able to explain. But your funding needs must come with time. So you should have a realistic funding schedule that include the time frame within which you need the money. Now, all these things that we are talking about, you are going to use it to offer service. You are going to use it to offer product. That is if you are doing profit businesses. And even if you are not for-profit organization, you will also need to look at the impact that you are going to have in the lives of those that you are transforming. So there is a need for you to actually understand your market, understand your customers, and then understand how you are going to, sell your product to the market. That is what we are going to look at next. So we're going to look at the market validation and then traction. Here we are talking about market viability. Is there an evidence of the demand for the product or service that you are offering? Do you think that people really need your product? Do you think that people really need your service? What do you have to prove? What evidence do you have? Have you done any research on it? Do you have any data? Is there any statistics to support the evidence of the need for your product or service? At the end of the day, people need your product and service to be able to exchange for their money. So you should be able to have an evidence to prove the demand for your product and service. Then the next thing that you're going to also examine is to look at the target audience. You need to clearly understand the customer needs. Yes, so there is an evidence for demand for a specific product which I want to offer. What is the needs of my customers? How do they prefer the product to be given to them? How do they want the product? In what shape? In what form? You need to clearly understand the customer need or the needs of your customers or your consumers. You know, you are developing the product or service for your customers. So you always need to have your customers in mind. And that is trying to understand their need. And that your product or your service must be customer focused. So understanding your customer needs is very key when you are doing market validation and traction. Then you also want to look at the early tractions, your sales. How is it going to be like? How do you start selling? Then your customers, which people are you going to sell your product to? And then your pilots. If it's a project that you need to do a test to see how it works, you need to get a group of people, a sample of the entire population to test your product on. Pilots are needed. Are there need for partnership? How are you going to sell? Is it through wholesale? Is it through retail? What are the channels? How are you going to get your product onto the market? Are you going to partner with salespeople or any form of partnership that will lead to your product getting to your customers? Is something that we consider under this stage. And then the last thing, but not the least, that you may also want to look at is competitive analysis. You need to know your landscape and positioning. So you are entering a market that already has people offering the same service. What is your competitive advantage? You only know your competitive advantage when you do your competitive analysis. So analysis of all the existing competitors and what puts you ahead of them. So you need to know. You need to know your landscape. I mean, your borders, the market share that you are exposed to, and then your position in the market. All these things are needed when you are seeking for funding and to help you properly position yourself for an investor to actually invest in your business. So having analyzed all these things, there are some various documents that you need to be able to, secure funding. There are many, but you need a business plan or a business proposal. You also need your financial, projections. That is your financial forecast. You also need your pitch. The pitch is what helps you sell your business to the investor. So let's go ahead and look at the components of a business plan or proposal. So the business plan is the comprehensive document of all that the business is about. Anything concerning the business can be found in the business plan. It's a detailed one, and every business, whether you are seeking funding or not, you must have a business plan. It is what directs you. It is what guides you. It is what shows you what you are supposed to do and at what time. And then out of the business plan, you can get a proposal. The proposal is more persuasive. It's more attractive. It's that aspect of the business plan that when people see, they will be willing to, invest their money into the business. So let's look at the various components of the business plan. The first thing that you see on the business plan is executive summary. The executive summary is an overview. It's a summary of everything that is in the business plan. So that is the first thing that you see. And it's a summarized version. So it's not supposed to be more than a page. Maximum 1 page is okay because it's meant for top executive. They don't have time to read the entire document. But it's the executive summary that gives them an overview of what is in the document. And the way you put the executive summary will even, encourage them to go further. So you make it brief, you make it concise, you make it straight to the point because it's an executive that is going to read it. And even though it's the first thing that appears on the business plan, it's the last thing that you do. Okay, so you do all the business plan and out of everything, you come up with that summary, but you put it first on the business plan. Remember, it's a brief and concise overview of the entire document. So the next thing that is on the business plan, which is actually the first component, is the company description. So, or the business description. What is the description of your business? Can you describe it for us? What is the overview? What is the legal structure? Is it a sole proprietorship? Is it a company? Is it a partnership? Is it a subsidiary? Is it an external company? What type of business structure is it? What is your mission? What do you exist to do? What are you doing? What is your vision? What are you working towards as a business? What are your goals? What are your objectives? All these things comes in here. What are your core values? All these things comes under the business description. So anything that has to be that, letting people understand what your business is comes under the business description. So all the various components comes in here. Now, the next thing that comes under business plan or a component of business plan is your product or service. So a detailed offerings. What do you offer? What are you giving to the people? If it's a service, you list all your services. If it's a product, you list all your product. Here, you have to state your unique selling position or unique selling point. You have to also look at your value proposition. What unique value does your product offer to the people? So don't just list your product or services. Try to convince anyone who come across the document that your business, product, and services has something to offer to the customers. So anything about your offerings comes under product or services. Then the next thing is team and organizational structure. So here you are going to work with people, human resources, anyone that you are working with, or anyone that is part of the business, their details come here. So their name, their role comes here, and any other thing that is relevant. And then you are going to state how their requirement, their qualification, their academic qualification, how they, contribute towards the overall goal of the business. Also, if they have future positions, so let's assume that for now you are only 5, but then there is a need for additional 5 in the future, you still include them. So they can put their position there, the rule, but you don't put the name. As time goes on, as the business grows, you now fill the position. So you see, it is not like today you wake up and say, oh, I think we need an accountant or we need a finance manager. No, it should be indicated in your business plan or your business proposal that you need these people even in the future. And that is why it is not something that you need to keep in your mind, but it is a document that will have to actually contain all these things that we are talking about. Great. So the next thing under your business plan is what you call the market and sales strategy or marketing and sales strategy. And this is once again very important because it is through marketing that you get customers. It is through marketing that you make your revenue and ultimately make your profit. So the first thing that you're going to look at is market analysis. What is the size of the entire market? And the size is measured by the number of customers, the amount of goods and services. You look at the trends. What are the trends in the market? Is it going down? Is it going up? At what point do they need this product? At what point do they buy more of this and less of that? Then you look at the growth potential. There are some markets that will not grow. There are some markets that will collapse in the coming year. When I'm talking about market, I'm not talking about physical location. I'm talking about the industry where your business finds yourself and where you are able to, deliver your product and service to the people. So do you think that the service together is going to be relevant in some years to come? Is there a growth? Is there a research? What can you use to support your growth potential? Then you're also going to look at your pricing strategy. Which pricing strategy are you going to adapt? So here, you're going to look at competitive pricing, penetrative pricing, scheming pricing, and all the various pricing strategies that is under marketing. And then you choose the one that you think is relevant for you, and you choose the one that you think it will be relevant in the market where you find yourself. Here, you can talk about your sales projection. How many units of this and this do you envisage to sell in a day or in a month? All those things would have to come in. Then you look at your customer profile, your ideal customer needs and their behavior. So who are your ideal customers? Who are the people that you have in mind, you have on record, that they are the people that will benefit from your product and services? What do you know about them? What are their needs? what are their behavior. So let's assume that you are into food business. You realize that from COVID time until now, people hardly walk to physical locations to eat. They like food to be delivered to wherever they find themselves. So if you are into that business, the customer needs and their behavior has changed. So they are no more coming to that place. They need a delivery system where wherever they find themselves, they can get the food available. Then the next thing that you also want to look at is marketing channels. Simply, how do you get your product to your customers? Is it through wholesale? Is it through retail? Is it through intermediaries? Will you need agents? Will you need merchants? Any medium at all through which you get your product and services delivered to your customer comes under the marketing channels. All of these are under the marketing and sales strategy, the business plan. Then the next thing that you're also going to look at is your financial projection. You can include it in this, or you can have it as a separate document. Here we are talking about the startup cost. How much do you need to start? And what are you going to use that money for? Then we also look at 3 to 5 years forecast. Your total sales, your expenses, your profit, anything at all comes in here. Your income statement, profit or loss statement, funding request. How much money are you seeking? Do you already have some? Or you are looking entirely onto an external investor to invest all the money that you need? What is the return on investment? If somebody should invest in your business, what do they chance to gain? What do they stand to gain? What would be their profit? What would be their return? What would be the impact? So all these things are supposed to come under the financial projections. Anything that is related to money comes under the financial projection. And then the appendix contains supporting documents. So here you can add the CVs of your human resources, that is your team. You can add research that you have made to support evidence of your product in the market. Anything at all that is a supporting document to your business plan, you can include them under the appendix. So basically, these are the major components of a business plan. You can decide to add more things, but you cannot take any of this. This is the fundamental part of the business plan. But whatever you put in, make sure that it is relevant to the business. And it is a proposal. Make sure that it is able to attract an investor to invest in your business. Great. So you have your business plan or your business proposal, a detailed one. Now you need to sell your business. Okay. So you need to sell your business to somebody who is a potential client. You need to sell your business to them. So what do you do? How do you create a pitch? How do you come up with a very simple message that is able to attract people to actually buy your business? The first thing you need to know is to know your audience. Your audience here is talking about those that you are going to pitch your business to. Who are they? Research investors. What criteria? Are they investing into venture businesses? Are they investing into equity? Are they investing into debt facility? Are they investing as a grant? Try to know about them. Know their criteria. Some investors invest in specific industries. So they only invest in agriculture, or they invest in, marketing, or they invest in sales, or they invest in any other business, building and construction, any business that you can think of. Make sure that your business falls in the category of the one that you are going to sell your business to. And if there is a need for you to adjust to meet the interest of the investor, you are going to do that, because you need to convince them at the end of the day. The next thing you're going to look at is, what is your core message? So clear value proposition and growth potential. Simple. What do you offer? What is the message? What do you have? So you know the one that you are talking to. You know the one that you are going to sell your business to. What do you have to say? What is your message? And it should be clear value proposition. What is so unique about your product? What sets your product and services apart from any other business? It needs to be made available. And then their growth potential. That's what the client is interested in, the investor. Is your product unique? Is there growth potential? Is it sustainable? Is it going to be there for long? You need to be able to specifically state that. And then we talk about the pitch deck. The pitch deck is just 10 to 5 visually appealing slides. So that is basically what you present to people when there is a need for you to present. You talk about your problem and the solution. Now, businesses are being set up to solve societal problems. So the problem is the opportunity for you. What problem have you identified? State the problem. That is the need for the customers. Understand the problem. Talk about it well. If you have supporting documents, support it. And then we talk about solution. What solution are you bringing on board? What is so unique about your solution? There are existing solution in the system. What makes yours unique? Then you talk about the market. Is there a market for the solution that you are offering? What is the market size? Then you talk about model. What is your business model? How do you go about your daily operation? What do you do? Traction. How do you get your product into the market? How do you make your first, sales? How do you acquire your first customer? The team. You need to bring up team. A group of people that are going to help with the business to achieve its purpose. Then your financials. You talk about it in the business plan, the investment plan, how much you need, what you're going to use it for, the returns on investment, and any other thing. Then you go ahead to ask your investor how much you need. Remember, you are not begging for funds. Okay, you have your business, you are an entrepreneur, and that person is an investor. So nobody is doing anybody favor. You are telling them that this is my business. And if you invest in it, it's going to help you. So you don't beg. You rather show what you have and show the potential and make it attractive for them to, buy into it. In doing all this, you need to be very confident in your delivery. So confidence, I say, is part of competence. Don't be shaking. You are asking for money. You are talking about your own business. So you should be proud. When you close your eyes, you should be able to talk about your business. When you sit before anyone, even the president, any person that you consider to be big, you should be able to boldly and confidently talk about your business. You should be able to practice whatever you put together. You should be clear in your submissions. The enthusiasm should be there. The happiness, the joy should be there. Then you should also anticipate questions and answers. And they're all centered on your business. In all your presentation, you can adapt the storytelling approach. Not stories that are not relevant to the business, but stories that are able to make progress. So you talk about narrative, something that is related to your business. And then you share testimonies of people that your business has been able to help in the past. And all these things will convince the investor. So this is where we'll pause for this session. And then the next session, we are going to look at the sources of funding, the various types of funding. And then we are going to look at some of the fundraising strategies that you can actually adapt. Thank you so much.
Transform your business into a thriving business with our expert guidance. Our services include business idea development, business plan development, business growth strategies, financial management advisory, marketing strategy development, regulatory or compliance advisory, and entrepreneurship training. Move your business ahead with ABC Ahead Business Consult by scheduling a consultation with us today via 0541-227-400. Follow us on all our social media platforms. ABC Ahead Business Consults. Always ahead.